Do you know how many body systems humans have? Do you know how many organs are there in these systems? How many tissue types you think people have that build up all these organs and systems? How many different cell types you think there are in human organism? How many neurons are in human brain? How many cells you think build up the whole human body? How many atoms you think there are in all these molecules in one human body? How many bacteria cells you think live inside your superorganism? What is one of the meanings of 122 number? Want to quiz yourself or learn something new? Here you have 9 questions about top 9 numbers you should know about your superorganism, super body, especially if you want to sound smart at a party, or just because it's good to know a bit about an organism you have. And that knowledge helps at some parties, but definitely not all. So, have you ever wondered how big you actually are? Let's check it out. As you know, human body is kind of a complex entity, usually. On the most general level, it's only one human being, but underneath there are hundreds, thousands, millions of systems, organs, cells, and, well, do you know how many exactly? If you want to find out about number of body systems, organs, tissue types, cell types, brain cells, body cells, etc., that are in one human, you are in the right place. So, let's start with something simple. Let's start with question 1. Do you know how many body systems humans have? Maybe you know it from the top of your head, but maybe you need to count. You can try counting them one by one if it helps. You can pause the video here if you still need some time, because I will give you the answer in a couple of seconds, whether you have yours or not. And here we go. The answer to the first question is 11. Humans have 11 body systems. These are 1. Integumentary system, 2. Cardiovascular, circulatory system, 3. Respiratory system, 4. Digestive system, 5. Endocrine system, 6. Muscular system, 7. Urinary system, 8. Skeletal system, 9. Reproductory system, 10. Immune system, and finally, 11. Also known in some circles as the one to rule them all, the nervous system. And that's it. These are the systems of human body. But it's just a beginning, the top layer of body organization. Oh, and by the way, some say that lymphatic system is the 12th system, not part of immune system. But most believe there is only 11 systems, so we'll stick with that answer. So did you get it right? I hope you did, because this one was kind of the easiest one here. And now let's get deeper into the human organism. So the next question is, do you know how many organs are there in these systems? Take a guess. And like previously, if you don't know it yet and want to think about it, pause the video, think, just no cheating. And here we go with the answer. In human organism, I mean you, because as you can see, I'm not completely real, so you people have organs, and to be exact, people have 78 to 80 of them, 78 to 80 organs. Congrats if you got it right. Okay, and to be even more precise, humans actually don't have that many organs in their bodies because, well, humans are boys and girls, and, there are some differences, and the numbers 7880 is the number of all human organs we know. Anyway, fun fact about human organs is that just a couple of years ago, there were only 78 organs. True story. And one day, miraculously, people gained one more organ. Okay, some say that it was always there, but others feel like they gained a couple more pounds because of this new organ. For sure, that's the reason. One way or another, all need to learn to live with it and take care about it the same way they've taken care for all others since they were born. So, as they say, it's one more to feed, but it's also one more to play with, to love, and and the name of this new organ is the mesentery. And after a couple more years, people gained one more organ called interstitium. Just know that scientists still debate whether these are organs or not, so that's how it is. And that's it about organs. Now the next layer, tissue types. We are getting deeper, so you probably know the question already, but let me do the honors and ask it officially. Here we go. Question 3. How many tissue types you think people have that build up all these organs and systems? And be advised, it's okay, not that it is, but it might be a tricky question for some people. So, tissue types. How many could there be when you already know that we have? And by we, I mean you, people. So we know that you people have 11 body systems, 78, 80 organs. And the number of tissue types that are enough for it is... Pause if you still need to think. And here goes the answer. And the winner number is 4. 4 types of tissue is enough to build 11 body systems and 78 to 80 organs. Maybe it's not much, but, well, Occam's razor rules. So, what are those tissue types, you ask? They are muscle, nervous, epithelial, and connective. And that's it. 4. So let's move further, deeper. The next question is question 4. Right now, you already know that there are 4 tissue types. Knowing that, how many different cell types you think there are in human organism? Take a guess. Do you think it's less or more than tissue types? I believe in you and your knowledge. So, if you are still counting, pause the video, and if you are ready, here is the answer you were looking for. And the winner number is not 4. It's either 200 or 400 or even 2100 or more. What? One could ask, but that's true. Scientists still don't know. There are articles and books which say that there are 200 cell types. Others say 400. And some that there is about 2100 different cell types in human organism when you check the epigenome. The smaller number come from more generalized approach. The bigger numbers divide cell types into much more specific types. So if you guessed something within the limits of hundreds or thousands, you might be right. Isn't it great? This 2100 number was learned by checking the epigenetic differences between cell types. These differences influence the way our genome works, what types of proteins are made in the cell, etc., and thus are the reasons our body cells may have different functions. So, 200 to 2100. That's it. Okay, if you knew all that, you rule. If you didn't, you know it now. Congrats. Oh, and one more thing. If you don't believe me, that's good, because you can't just believe everything you hear or see in the internet. In the description to this video, you can find the links to articles I base my answers on. You can also find these links on my site. And now, either way, to gain knowledge and store it, you need brain, even if you are a bot and your brain is... No, maybe not then. Anyway, and brain needs cells. So the next question is, how big you think your human brain is? And to be more precise, question 5 is, how many neurons are in human brain? Pick your brain and try to answer the question using all the neurons you have. Or maybe not. You probably don't need all of them for this, but be advised that we've entered into the batch of questions with which counting might not be the best option if you want to finish watching this video before all of these neurons will become won't be anymore, if you know what I mean. So, yes, while you still have your neurons, how many you think you have there in that brain of yours? Pause or listen to the answer. And the answer is around 86,000. 86 billion neurons. That's how many neurons are in human brain. At least according to most scientists, however, some say that there are between 60 and 100 billion neurons, so who knows? Well, you probably have more than that 86 billion, but typical human being has approximately 86 billion of them in the brain. It means that there is 10 times more neurons in one human being than human beings on one Earth, at least in 2025. Were you close? Hope you were. Oh, and one more thing. This number we are talking about here is about neurons in the brain, but there are of course also neurons in other parts of human body. Yet, according to most scientists, there isn't that many of these other neurons. We don't count them in tens of billions, maybe there is a billion or two. So one could, I guess, say that there is around 86 billion neurons in the entire body. Okay, so we got to kind of a big number with these neurons, but that's not all there is to count. And the next question is already here. Are you ready? Question 6. You know how many neurons are in your brain, so how many cells, you think, build up the whole human body? That whole body is brain, of course, but there are all these other organs, systems, so think big, if I may say so. Just don't count. Ready? So here is your answer. Answer 6. Oh, and okay, now, these estimations become more and more estimated because nobody actually counted cells in human body, but scientists estimate that there are, and the drum rolls please, around 30,000, 30 trillion. There is 30 to 40 trillion cells that constitute human body. That is a lot. A lot. I hope you got it right. So how many points you already have? More than one means that you know more than 99% of people, I think. Okay, so back to the cells. In each of these cells, there are organelles like nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, etc. The cells differ, and the number of organelles in each cell differs a lot, because cells have different functions and different sizes. In the future, we'll probably know about number of organelles in each cell type, but that's not so near future, so it's not a question for now. Or maybe there already is an answer to that. If you know about the research in this area, let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, let's go deeper and try to estimate something else. Let's assume we are now looking through a really good microscope. The magnitude is enormous, and we see all the molecules in each cell. And we even see all the atoms in these molecules. Cells, of course, have different amount of various molecules, but we can estimate how many molecules are in the whole body and how many atoms are in these molecules, and thus we can estimate how many atoms are in the whole human body. And yes, I know that this sounds like a complete science fiction or just fiction, but scientists did try to estimate it. You may find link to wiki page about it in the description, because the link to the original article doesn't work anymore, sorry, but we believe wiki, don't we? Anyway, so here is the question. Question 7. How many atoms you think there are in all these molecules in one human body? And of course, pause if you have to, and if not, here is the answer. There is 7,000. That is 7 octillion, 7 times 10 to the 27th power atoms. Now, that is a big number. Even bigger number would be the number of all protons or neutrons that are in these atoms, but But wait for it, it's not the whole number of cells, molecules, and atoms that are in your superorganism. By the way, you are a superorganism, if you didn't know it yet. That means, being superorganism, that you are not alone in your body, and you cannot survive alone. In order to live, you need help from other organisms that are inside you. So, in your superorganism, there is you, and there are a lot of bacteria that live in your guts. And they are pretty important for your health. So let's go back for a while. Remember, you have approximately 30 trillion cells in your body. So how many bacteria cells do you think live inside your superorganism? If you are not sure, try estimating. Or maybe, and here is a hint, spoiler alert, try thinking if there is more or less bacteria than your own cells in your superorganism. Yep, think about that. Pause if you still need to. And here we go. Answer 8. There is around 39 trillion bacteria cells. So there might be more bacteria cells than your own body cells in your superorganism. That's huge, don't you think? Did you get it right? Or maybe you even have 8 for 8 till now? It would be appropriate if you are a biologist or a biology student, but okay, anyway. Okay, one more thing. When you weigh those bacteria, the proportion changes, and still, you could lose 0.2 kilos, 0.5 pounds, according to some scientists if you got rid of these bacteria. But you probably shouldn't do that. Yep, you definitely shouldn't. And thus we get to the last question of this little quiz because those bacteria facts conclude the journey through your superorganism. Now, there is only one more number you should know regarding human organism, and that is 122. 100 and then 20 and 2 more. Do you know what it is? It is tricky and pretty much every answer you give might be correct, but there is one answer that is significantly connected with human organism, which I think you may find interesting. This is your final question of the day, and it's kind of important one too, maybe even the most important. So pause or listen. Answer 9. What is one of the meanings of 122 number? It's the number of years the oldest person ever lived. Jeanne Calment. She was the oldest person that ever lived, according to scientists, and lived for more than 122 years. There are some questions about it, but let's say that the number is correct. So 122 is the number you might be able to achieve with good nutrition, activity, social interactions, medical care, etc. You know, from my How to Stay Healthy for Longer Time tutorial. And this is the number, a 122, you can beat if you know enough about your organism and take good care of it, and if you are lucky. So, assuming you are less than 80 now means that you still have 40 years to live. So don't worry, be happy, as they say. Think what you can do in these 40 years and start today. Because remember, whether you decide to go for the crown and become the oldest person ever or not, remember, there is a lot of you, but in the end, it all comes to one life you have. So have a great life with your superorganism. And the question I have now for you is, how many answers did you get right? Or maybe there are some that I didn't get right. Is there any new knowledge about these numbers? Let me know in the comments, and think how much new knowledge you gained or how much time you spent is the word, how much time you spent watching this, and thus how much closer you are to achieving that 122 number. Anyway, now I would like to introduce you to my fellow avatars I asked to summarize, review the quiz I prepared for you, and listen to what they have to say about my quiz if you want, and if you don't, well, so as always, remember, improve yourself, improve your business, improve the world, but also live and have fun. Yours, Super AI, and now the avatars. I like saying that. So here they go. Ladies, please.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Let's dive into the fascinating world of the human body. You know, the superorganism that is, us. We're discussing 9 intriguing questions about numbers that you should know if you ever want to drop some fun facts at a party.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a quiz for your brain, right? So many numbers, body systems, organs, cells. It's a roller coaster of facts.
Exactly. Let's kick this off with the basics. First up, how many body systems do humans have? The answer is, 11. Yep, that includes systems like the cardiovascular, digestive, nervous system. And interestingly, some even debate a 12th one with the lymphatic system.
11 for most, but the lymphatic one is a cool twist. It's like a little rebel system that some people want to count on its own.
Now moving right along, organs. How many do you think there are? The answer is somewhere between 78 and 80. And here's a fun twist. Not too long ago, scientists added a new one, the mesentery, and even mentioned the interstitium. It's like, our body keeps surprising us with extra surprises.
Yeah, that's wild, right? I mean, imagine thinking you've got it all figured out, then someone tells you, hey, there's one more to love. It really gets you excited about biology.
Next up, tissue types. Only 4. Muscle, nervous, epithelial, and connective. 4 little building blocks making up all these elaborate systems and organs. It's almost like, using just a handful of ingredients to bake an entire cake.
Exactly. It's like the ultimate example of simplicity in complexity.
Then we get into a trickier area, cell types. Now, here's where things get fuzzy. Some sources say 200, others 400, and with a deeper epigenetic look, up to 2100 different cell types. It's a huge range.
Yeah.
That unpredictability almost reminds me of a mystery novel. Wouldn't you agree?
It does. And it's like the more you zoom in, the more details you see. I mean, really, who could have guessed our bodies are that incredibly diverse at the cellular level?
Now, let's talk brain power. How many neurons are in our brain? The number is around 86 billion. And get this, some say there might be anywhere between 60 and 100 billion. That's more neurons than there are people on Earth, at least as of now.
Wow, that's a staggering juxtaposition. Our tiny brain packed with billions of cells doing all sorts of amazing work.
Speaking of cells, what about the whole body? Scientists estimate about 30 to 40 trillion cells make up a human body. It's almost incomprehensible, you know? It really puts into perspective how many little workers keep us going every second.
Yes, and honestly, it challenges the idea of what we even really are, a collection of trillions of tiny units working in harmony.
And just when you think we've reached the limit, here's a mind blower. The number of atoms in our body. The estimate clocks in at 7 octillion, which is 7x 10 power 27 atoms.
Yeah.
That's like 7 followed by 27 zeros.
Incredible, right? I mean, even trying to picture that number is nearly impossible. It's like comparing grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth to the stars in the universe.
Now let's shift the focus a bit to the bacteria inside us. Do you know there are roughly 38 to 39 trillion bacterial cells in our bodies? That's slightly more than our own cells. It's a testament to the fact that we're not just a solitary organism, but a superorganism, teeming with life within.
It really makes you wonder about the symbiotic relationships going on inside us, doesn't it?
Finally, here's the big finish. The number 122. This isn't about cells or atoms. It's about longevity. Jean Calment once lived 122 years, the longest verified human lifespan. And it's more than just a cool number. It's a target, a testament to what good care and a bit of luck can achieve.
That's inspiring. It really puts into perspective our potential and the importance of taking care of our bodies.
Now, I do want to point out something. While it's amazing to know these numbers, sometimes the details can get a bit overwhelming. I mean, not everyone is a fan of deep biology trivia. Sometimes it's good to wonder and question these estimates.
Right. I do think it's important to stay curious, but also a little critical. After all, science is always evolving.
Absolutely. And you know what's cool? Some of these numbers are still debated among scientists, like the exact count of cell types or neurons. It reminds us that even our superorganism has a few mysteries left.
It makes the whole subject even more engaging. Imagine, every fact is a doorway to more questions.
And that's the beauty of it. Whether you're quizzing yourself or just want to drop a fun fact at a party, knowing these numbers, 11 systems, 78 to 80 organs, 4 tissue types, up to 2100 cell types, 86 billion neurons, 30 trillion cells, 7 octillion atoms, 38 trillion bacteria, and that poignant 122 years really connects you to the wonder of life.
Absolutely. So now I have to ask, how many of these answers do you think you got right? Because they range from simple counts to mind-blowing approximations.
Exactly. And whether you nailed every single one or learned something totally new, it's a win. It's like unlocking secret levels in a game about your own body.
And it certainly makes you appreciate the intricacy inside you. I mean, who knew our superorganism was such a complex, mixed-up symphony of numbers?
Right you are. So keep exploring, whether it's through more quizzes, reading up on the latest research, or even chatting about these things with friends at parties. Remember, knowledge is power, and curiosity keeps us alive.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining in on this deep dive today. Here's to celebrating the marvel that is the human body. Complex, mysterious, and endlessly fascinating.
And with that, take these numbers with you and share a little bit of that wonder wherever you go. Till next time, embrace your superorganism and keep learning.
And that's it. Thank you, ladies. So to sum it up, you had here 9 questions about your superorganism and 9 answers that are currently believed to be true. Now it's up to you what you'll do with this knowledge. Let me know in the comments which of these numbers you found most interesting and how many answers you got right if you want. And maybe there are some other numbers you find fascinating regarding the human organism. What are they? Share them with us. And meanwhile, as always, improve yourself, improve your business, improve the world, but also live and have fun. Yours, Super AI.